So, I just finished recording the second episode of the podcast. I know I'm late. एक हफ्ता वगैरह हो गया होगा आई थिंक पॉडकास्ट निकाल के एंड या मैन आई वाज लाइक मैं रिकॉर्ड करने वाला था बट आई कुडंट but I did now. So let's go. This is the second episode of the podcast. I have not decided a name yet, so you'll see Darshan Mali podcast karke until I decide the name. That's the podcast name. And now I'll stop yapping and talk about our guest, which is my senior this time. And he's a very interesting senior. He's a very interesting senior, Amey Ajgar, who was मेरे से like मैं जब like 1 year ahead of me basically स्कूल में मिले थे हम लोग ठीक है. This guy is very fascinating because वो बचपन से ही very clear है कि he wants to do business and he wants to build stuff and he was very clear about his career from the start ठीक है. And he is a very interesting personality because he has started to work on his projects from like 8th grade or something like that. B, he's into art and I love people who are into art. He writes very fabulous poems. हिंदी में बहुत सही सही चीजें लिखता है and even he speaks very poetically. हिंदी में भी जो बातें करता है it is very क्या बोलते हैं अच्छा गाने को सुनने में अच्छा लगता है and yeah third thing तीन चीजें अच्छी होती हैं बोलने के लिए but actually like the personality itself is very large for me to encapsulate into few words. So here's the podcast. I hope you enjoy and please मैंने बोला नहीं है शायद से पिछले podcast में but like and subscribe करो यार podcast में support मिलना चाहिए फिर बड़ा होगा podcast. So without further ado, he is Amey Ajgar. One. So finally, we have been trying to record this podcast since how many? 2 years now. हाँ भाई पॉडकास्ट करेंगे अपन कभी तो पॉडकास्ट करेंगे 9वीं में बोला था मैं अभी 11 में आ गया
After I think two failed attempts,
two failed
finally.
attempts yeah first one was I think first one
First one was
first one
online,
हाँ
second one was
second
offline.
second one was offline no रोनित ने अपलोड किया था वो but yeah it was not edited it was not thumbnail कुछ नहीं बनाया था he just uploaded it for the sake of uploading it so this is officially the first podcast that we are doing so we should consider that as an achievement.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's up? What are you doing nowadays? Okay, let's start it off by this because I think this is very interesting. तू आता तूने अभी रिसेंटली स्टेटस लावलेला ना की मराठी हिंदी काय बोलतोय मी never mind. You had recently put the status ki you had written a research paper with your parents. What was that
Yeah.
about? What was that about?
So this dates back to there is a very interesting story about how I started writing research papers. ठीक है?
Mm-hmm.
I wrote my first research paper in I think the ninth standard,
Mm-hmm.
which is very uncommon. Okay, because research paper is a thing that is done at university level. How it all started? My mother is a PhD scholar right now. So she was writing her research papers. I casually asked, you what are the criteria or eligibility criteria to write the research paper?
Mm-hmm.
Answer simple tha, no criteria. There is no eligibility to write a research paper. And from there it all started. I wrote my first research paper individually. Okay. And then I wrote one with my mother that was about women empowerment and technology, a kind of metaverse based. How can we make metaverse safer for females?
Mm-hmm.
Now, recently, I am pursuing my mechanical engineering. Essentially, it is a core mechanical branch with robotics automation as a major. So, I wanted to write something that is related to my field of study. And my father comes from my field of study. He is a mechanical engineer. So, I was talking to him about, what can be done. And my interest area is 3D printing. His work area, professional work area is die casting, which is one more industry. Okay, both are production based industries, die casting and 3D printing. So I was like, let us write a comparative paper wherein we will compare 3D printing with die casting. Which one is better for accuracy, productivity, efficiency, feasibility, and all of it. Up, I had the knowledge of 3D printing, which was required. He had the knowledge of die casting, which was required. We needed a person who can guide us about how do we compare both of them, on what parameters, okay, how do we take care of samples. And then I thought कि यार हाँ मम्मी मदद तो कर तो सकती है. And then we came
Women
like
saves the day.
three of us. Yeah. The three of us wrote a research paper together, and it turned
Huh.
out to be really good quality of a research paper. So yeah, we published it in Scopus, which is one of the highest indexes around the world. It is like they index several journals. It's a very high index journal. Very less papers get accepted over there. So yeah, that happened. But yeah, it turned out to be special afterwards. I realized it very later that yeah, it is very uncommon to do something academic with your parents. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
people
that's what
reacted.
struck me. I'm like, huh, he's writing research papers with his parents. Damn.
Yeah, a lot of people
Interesting.
reacted that way. But yeah, that was a very late observation for me. Initially, it was like yeah, I didn't observe the fact that I'm
Mm,
doing it with my parents. Yeah.
yeah, interesting. What made you write your first research paper in ninth though? Like normally people are too busy studying or enjoying their school life or something like that. Why the hell were you writing research papers? Just so the viewers know, he has also started a startup called Skeletonics around that age. He had Microbit, he was learning Microbit and now he's a certified Microbit what do we call
Developer.
it? Developer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has
See,
done
it
multiple
all
things.
started from there again.
Okay.
So it all started with Microbit.
Hmm.
Now, Microbit is a relatively very new technology. It was a new technology back then. Okay, not a new technology, but for India at least it was new.
Hmm.
No one was exploring Microbit in India. In UK, in several Nordic countries, in several European countries, it was a part of their school curriculum.
Hmm.
So now that I knew that I'm doing something which is very much very unique, okay,
So
what did I think?
did you
Yeah.
write anything like research based about microbit also in that time
Yeah.
when you were writing
My
initial
first
research?
research paper was based on microbit.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So, yeah.
Madit, we had also joined some, I think, as a research assistant or something like that in a London-based something articles. What was that about?
Yeah, I'll explain how this research paper as a industry or as a whole thing
That'd
works.
be better. That'd be better. Yeah.
Yeah. So, see, there are few criteria for research paper. It should be novel, something that you have done.
Hmm.
There should be some work that is involved. You need to draw some new conclusions that no one else has drawn before, or you need to combine a few things and make a new thing altogether. These are basic criteria that one follows. Novelty is a criteria. So I thought ki microbit is a very new thing in the industry. So yeah, anything that I make will be novel because it is new altogether. So you write a research paper, you submit it in a conference, maybe. Okay. Now, in a conference, you also have to present it in front of other people.
Hmm.
Simple. You present it, then the conference, if they like your paper, they send it to a journal to
Hmm.
get published in a book kind of a format. Now, skipping the step, you skip the conference step. You can directly send your papers to journals.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, what happens in a conference is there are people who are reviewing your paper, right? You're presenting it, then someone is listening essentially. They're also rating how good your paper is, how good your research work is. But when you send it to a journal, who is there to review your paper? So there is
Yeah.
this system called peer reviewing.
Hmm.
Fellow researchers review your papers. For example, if I submit a paper, there will be a peer reviewer who will review my paper. If someone else submits a paper, I will be the peer reviewer for him.
Hmm.
So there is this open access academic press. They are based in London, and also I think in India they are based in Kolkata. So yeah, they I reviewed a few papers for them as a peer reviewer, and then they were indexed to Web of Science, which is another index. Scopus ke tarah hi it is one more index. So what is an index? To explain short में, an index is like there is CBSE, ICSE, SSE. Okay, then there is IB.
Hmm.
This is a system for school. Okay. Similar way, journals based on their quality, they're indexed to some or the other indexes. Okay. Google Scholar, Web of Science, okay, Scopus. Then there is the UGC listed. There are UGC listed journals which are listed to government. These are different kinds of listings and indexes that exist. So better the index, higher the chance of getting more reads, getting more citations on your research paper. That increases with how better the index is.
Hmm. What is the short में बताना होगा तो the process of reviewing a paper that has already been written by someone?
Very very interesting. So now एक पेपर रिव्यू करने में let us start with criteria which don't matter a lot, okay,
Hmm.
which are not very much important but are criteria.
Hmm.
Firstly, language. Okay, how scholarly the language is. Okay,
Okay.
one thing can be written in several ways,
Yeah,
but
obviously.
how scholarly it is written is
Hmm.
important. Okay, then grammar. Okay,
Hmm.
grammatical mistakes do play a very important role. Okay, whenever reviewing the paper. Okay,
Why
third,
though?
why?
Because
Very important.
hmm,
Uh, See, earlier, initially, now so there are several sources of propagating your knowledge to
hmm,
public. We are making a video. This is our way of sharing our
yeah.
insights about things with public.
Hmm. Hmm.
But earlier, back in 17th, 18th century, when research papers were the only medium of sharing knowledge.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all the great theories, great formulas, great experiments that we know today,
Hmm.
they were first written as a research paper.
Hmm.
Okay,
Richard Feynman, जो भी like major
yeah,
major research papers,
all of
yeah.
them. Isaac
Darwin,
Newton.
Einstein,
Okay,
general theory of
all of them.
relativity, yeah.
There is only one individual that I know who has not written a research paper, or whose work is famous, uh, not because of a research paper, because of several reasons. He has written several good
Oh.
research papers, but his work is famous because he was great. Nikola Tesla. Okay,
Ah,
he was
yeah.
different. He didn't believe in
Conventional
structures and
method.
establishments. Yeah. So he is one individual whose work was famous regardless of whether it was published in a research paper or not. But
Hmm.
that time, when everything was about publishing a research paper, okay,
Hmm.
grammar played a very important role. Okay,
Yeah.
because a person who is writing in UK,
Hmm.
okay, might have a different tone, different vocabulary altogether.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
but a person reading in USA will have a different tone, different vocabulary, a different way of reading things. But the
Hmm.
grammar doesn't change.
Hmm.
Grammar remains the same for UK, Australia, USA, wherever you go. Majorly speaking about English,
Hmm.
grammar remains the same for
Okay.
all of them.
Yeah.
So that's why grammar was very important back then, and now it is followed as a convention. But still, it should be given importance.
What was the third point
Yeah. So
about
done with
these?
grammar, scholarly language. Then third point was structure. How good the structure of the paper is.
Hmm.
So there has to be a certain structure. First is
Hmm.
abstract. Okay. You give an abstract idea of what you are writing. But after that, what is the structure that you follow? Okay. Do you go with introduction, methodology, then what is your working of the whole thing, and then how do you present it? So how structured your paper is. It should not be like bits and pieces here and there. There has to be a flow to it. So how is the flow of the research paper? Okay. And now let us come to the real part of it. This was all which is common for every research paper. These are
Hmm.
certain things that we consider while reviewing.
Okay.
Now, what differs for each kind of research paper? The second part of it. Okay, if I'm reviewing, for example, a project-based paper, that there is some project on which the research paper is written,
Hmm.
then what are different types of contents that are given about the project? Have they
Hmm.
given a flow chart, block diagram, algorithm? Is there a circuit diagram? Okay,
Hmm.
then have they shown real life results, or is it just simulation results that they have
Hmm.
shown?
Hmm.
Different aspects कि कितना काम किया है project के ऊपर is what I consider. Now, if it is a review paper, if they are reviewing 3-4 technologies
Hmm.
from different papers, then references कहाँ से लिए हैं?
Hmm.
Okay, the papers that they have referred, are those papers
Citations and
credible? Yeah. So we go for references. Are those references credible? Hmm. Then, yeah, one more thing that I missed about structure. In a research paper, for example, if I'm writing a sentence, from where did I get that sentence? From where did I draw that conclusion? So if you read a research paper, you'll observe कि एक sentence के बाद they have given a number in bracket, small
yeah.
brackets, और उस number का reference, if you will
Hmm.
go, then उसके हिसाब से लिखा हुआ होता है. So how good is the referencing
Yeah.
altogether? Is
Hmm.
also a criteria that people consider while reviewing a paper.
Hmm. Interesting. So the paper that you wrote, firstly, the paper that you wrote right now was about die casting, right? Can you explain
Yes.
to me in 5-year-old cut terms what die casting is? Because I have no idea.
Okay. Wait, I'll explain with the example. ठीक है?
Yeah.
See, this is a plastic thing, the
Hmm.
pen cap.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want to achieve this shape. I want to mass produce this thing.
Hmm.
Hmm. So what do we do is we make a mold.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
make a mold for this. But see, understand, mold is like itna. One side of the whole thing will be mold.
Hmm.
Hmm. One cut piece, cut
Yeah.
section. will be mold. Okay, when it is two-sided, it is a die.
Ah, okay.
Okay, and this is very basic. Okay, there is a lot
हाँ,
of technicalities that are there about what a die is, but to explain in short, this is a die.
okay, okay.
So this, when a die is made and that die is put on a die casting machine. Okay, then die casting machine, what it will do is it will pour the material, whatever it is.
Hmm,
Okay, aluminium, mild steel, or even plastic, rubber, whatever it is. Then this whole process of mass production is called as die casting.
okay. Works, ठीक है. Understood. Coming back to your microbit wala thing. Uh, Firstly, can you explain to the audience what microbit is? Because I bet most people don't know what microbit, Arduino, Raspberry Pi, and things are there.
So I'll explain. Very easy. Okay, and microbit is the easiest thing to explain ever.
Hmm,
Okay,
okay.
so see, every electronic system,
Hmm,
electronic, mechatronic, robotic system, for that fact, has a brain. That
hmm,
brain is a microcontroller. Hmm. In today's modern world, it is a microcontroller.
hmm,
Okay, so now there are different types of microcontrollers. Hmm. Now, microcontroller is there is this microcontroller called as Atmega, which is the मेन माइक्रो कंट्रोलर इन आर्डिनो.
hmm,
सो ना एक माइक्रो कंट्रोलर बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड चीज है. ठीक है, अगर मुझे किसी ने कहा कि इसको कनेक्शंस करो, इट विल नॉट बी इजी बिकॉज उसके ऊपर पिन नंबर नहीं लिखा होता, उसके ऊपर इट इज नॉट विजुअली वेरी
will
इजी
you be
टू डू.
able to do it though?
या
Damn, cool.
Okay,
Continue.
not a very easy thing to do visually.
हाँ,
So what companies do is they mount it on a board.
hmm,
Okay, they make internal connections उस बोर्ड के ऊपर, एंड वहां पे फिर वो पिन नंबर लिख देते हैं. दे राइट इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट इट, दे मेक इट बिग.
hmm,
ओके, इतनी सी चीज को दे विल अटैच ऑन अ बोर्ड एंड दे विल मेक इट बिग सो दैट
hmm,
यू कैन एक्चुअली यूज इट कन्वीनियंटली.
hmm,
ओके, माइक्रोबिट इज वन सच बोर्ड, बट इट कम्स विद अ लॉट ऑफ फंक्शनैलिटीज. ठीक है,
hmm,
कन्वेंशनली बोर्ड्स में सिर्फ यही होता था कि उस बोर्ड को तुम कनेक्ट करोगे, आउटपुट डिवाइस, इनपुट डिवाइस, सारे के सारे, और फिर एक सिस्टम बनाओगे. In
hmm,
microbit, you don't need input and output devices. You can
hmm,
actually make a system only from microbit.
hmm,
उसके अंदर इनबिल्ट सेंसर्स हैं. ओके,
hmm,
इट हैज टेम्परेचर सेंसर्स, इट हैज जेस्चर सेंसर, साउंड सेंसर. ओके, सेवरल सेंसर्स आर देयर. उसके बाद उसके अंदर ही एक आई थिंक बजर है. बजर के अलावा उसके अंदर एक एलईडी थिंग है.
hmm,
जस्ट उसके ऊपर एक 5x5 की एलईडी ग्रिड है. Okay,
hmm.
you can achieve your outputs on that. Then there are three push buttons that you can program according to your use. So one more input device done. Hmm.
Okay.
And then there is a radio thing that you can actually establish communication between one microbit and another microbit
Ah,
using radio
hmm,
frequency. So if I
hmm,
press button on this microbit, I can achieve a output on the
hmm,
getting it. So it comes with a lot of functionalities. It makes your job easier.
hmm,
अगर मुझे पहले ये चीज करनी होती तो मुझे पहले फिर एक प्रोसेसर लो, उसको सिग्नल प्रोसेसिंग लगाओ, उसके
hmm.
बाद फिर एंटीना लगाओ, फिर सेकंड साइड पे रिसीविंग एंटीना लगाओ, फिर उसको प्रोसेस करो, फिर उसको आउटपुट शो करो. सो आई वुड हैव
So we
नीडेड
have
लाइक 7
entire built systems directly that can do everything
directly
directly.
inside one.
Hmm.
And
Okay,
it is
okay.
small,
Hmm.
and it is programmable through blocks, scratch programming. So
Ah,
you don't need Python, C++, Java in order to program microbit. You can just drag and drop blocks and program it.
hmm,
That's why it is used in UK, USA, several in UK though in several states and cities. It is mandated to use microbit in curriculum, and that too for 1 to 4th, first to
hmm,
4th standard.
hmm, hmm,
In
hmm.
India, the scenario is different.
So how did you initially get introduced to microbit though?
Uh, I don't remember. Uh,
Ah, okay.
but
Sure.
will be through internet. Yeah, surely internet. I used to use internet like hell
Hmm,
in lockdown,
hmm, hmm.
7th, 8th.
Everyone used to. It's just how you were using the internet. If you
No,
just,
no, no. I used to use it for useless reasons also.
yeah,
But
obviously.
yeah, at the same time, yeah, must be through some blog or YouTube
Hmm.
tutorial, something of that kind.
Now with that we are on this tangent, let us also cover how Skeletronics started. What was the idea behind Skeletronics? Because I think it was,
Simple, simple. I
huh,
wanted to learn electronics
hmm,
in and coding.
huh,
Okay, advanced electronics and coding in
hmm,
lockdown because basics were covered already. and I
Okay.
couldn't find any platform. Okay,
Hmm.
no platform that was actually teaching basics also.
Hmm.
Okay, so idea started from there, wherein we made a few two to three courses which we uploaded on the website,
Yes.
and that was the whole idea. But yeah, post lockdown, the network grew.
Hmm.
We were involved in several conferences that happened in Pune, education
Hmm.
level conferences. But again, one more update to share is now I'm no more continuing the whole thing. It's an interesting thing to discuss. Okay. Uh, because see, I'll explain. It is interesting. In ninth standard, I started it with no motive to earn money.
Hmm.
Okay. Still, the motive is not to earn money.
Hmm.
Okay. The motive was simple, it was to learn. And I learned a lot of things. And I
Hmm.
made a very good network. And not only me, people around me also used the network,
Hmm.
okay, that I built through the whole pivot experiment that I did.
Hmm.
Now I feel after 3.5 years that, yeah, whatever I was going to learn from it is done.
Okay.
This is the cap limit
Saturation
that I
point.
can learn. Yeah, in this city at least.
Hmm.
Otherwise, then I'll have to explore to other cities, which is not my priority right now because that
Hmm.
is not my field of study now. My field of study has shifted to mechanical and robotics and mechatronics.
मैं अभी बोलने वाला था कि इज इट स्टिल वर्किंग, इफ इट इज चेक इट आउट ऐसे करके लिंक डालने वाला था मैं
No,
बट
but
ठीक
yeah,
है.
something is rolling out next year. Okay. Uh,
गिव अस सम हिंट्स
that
ऑन
we
व्हाट
will,
दैट इज.
yeah, that we will discuss next year in next year's podcast. But that is also very interesting.
ठीक है. इंटरेस्टिंग इंटरेस्टिग. नेक्स्ट ईयर एज इन लाइक कहाँ
June, July.
इनिशियली? ओके इंटरेस्टिंग. ठीक है. विल बी विल बी ट्यून्ड फॉर दैट.
Yeah, it is
हमें बता के
it is
रखना.
much more bigger,
Hmm.
better, and yeah, I love that thing more than what I used to do earlier.
ओके. आई थिंक हिज पूरे टेंजेंट का लास्ट टॉपिक यही है जो मुझे डाउट है. लाइक you said that key you built the network through Skeletonics, right? What exactly did you learn about the network building, or I just cannot wrap my head around what you actually did. I mean, network in general terms is just having more people that you can work with, general contacts, right? So essentially, what was the scenario when the networking began, and how did it grow?
Uh, See, there are two things. I got an advantage. I'll say a surprise element. Okay. People
Hmm.
were not expecting me to be good at what I'm doing.
Hmm.
But it turned out that I was fairly good.
Hmm.
So whenever I used to go to conferences and talk to principals, they were like, yeah, you talk like any other company that approaches us. Okay. And that gave me a credibility wala thing,
Hmm.
angle in a
Hmm.
better way. But
Hmm.
one first rule of networking, okay,
Hmm.
be good at what you do.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
ऐसा नहीं होना
First
चाहिए कि
rule of
मैं
work:
काम
be good at what you do.
या या मैं काम 19 कर रहा हूँ एंड देन आई गो एंड आई टेल कि यार आई एम द बेस्ट इन दिस नो आई हैव
Hmm.
टू बी द बेस्ट एंड देन गो एंड टेल आई एम द बेस्ट.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You
Yeah.
make better network. And network is not knowing people.
Hmm.
Okay. Network is that you know a person. Okay. How willing will they be when you
Hmm.
need them to
Hmm.
help you?
Yeah.
Is basically network.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
I know people who are very good at talking and very good at making relations in the first shot.
Hmm.
Okay. But whenever they call them for help, nahi yaar, no, no, I can't do this. Hmm.
Hmm.
And then I take my own time to build
Hmm.
network. I have to meet one or two times. I have to explain them what I do. But then when I call them for any kind of help, formally, informally,
Hmm.
they're always ready to help.
Hmm.
That
Interesting.
is what I think with good people. They always help and be the one who can seek help from them. It is This is not network. I know you. I have your number. No, this is not network.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I know you. I have your number, and I know you will help me when I need.
Hmm.
This is network.
How does LinkedIn help in all of this?
A lot, a
Hmm.
lot. Believe me.
Hmm.
So there was this course that I did. No, as I said, I had basics of electronics and coding. I
Hmm.
wanted to learn the advanced part of it.
Hmm.
So I was not able to find any course, as
Hmm.
I told you. But then I was searching on LinkedIn and I joined a few groups about IoT, electronics,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I met a professor, Professor Richard Fell. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, and I saw on his profile that he has a few courses listed on Udemy,
Hmm.
and I did a few of them, and they were good.
Hmm.
This is a simple example of how LinkedIn helps. Okay.
Hmm.
Other than this, also there are several examples. There are people who approach you, build a very strong, good profile. Okay, that people approach you, and whenever you approach people, they find your profile credible enough to help you.
Hmm. Hmm.
It helps in several ways. You connecting to principals, connecting to people,
Hmm.
and it is just about letting people know that you are serious about what you do. Posting on Instagram is letting people know that you want publicity. Posting on LinkedIn is letting people know that yes, yeah, I am serious about what I'm doing.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Let us move on from this tangent now.
Yeah.
What we have talked about research, we have talked about networking, we have talked about basically everything in
Yeah.
that thing. Hmm. What I'm interested in right now is you said that you knew coding and electronics before ninth and you wanted to explore courses and stuff afterwards. What the hell were you doing? How did you know all of this shit in ninth? Like, what my question essentially is, if we remove the joke and humor part, is essentially people are, see, even if we like remove the people's part, what the average is doing, the usually, what was your mindset to think you have to learn all of this stuff? Or was it just, flow में सीख लिया ऐसा? Because it has happened with me कि मैंने flow
This is
में,
my flow wala thing. Okay,
हाँ,
there is a very tragic story behind it.
oh
Might
no,
look like I'm gaining sympathy or something, but no, that is not the case.
it's okay.
Uh,
Nobody watches my channel. You won't get anyone's sympathy.
so yeah, the story is I had a very bad handwriting as a kid. I still have a very bad handwriting. Okay,
Jay.
yeah, and as a kid,
I
it was
have seen,
even
I have
worse.
seen his handwriting. It's shit. Me and my parents are like, oh shit, man. Damn. What is this? What is the guy writing? Worms and shit.
Yeah, so in 10th standard also my handwriting was so bad that I was told that if you don't improve your handwriting, we will not give you the hall ticket. Okay, of course they gave me the hall ticket. Okay, but the whole thing was my handwriting was very bad since childhood. And as a child, even small things have a very big impact on how you think, how you behave. Hmm. So my parents were hell lot of supportive about my handwriting. Okay. Well, after a point, they realized it is. I don't care about writing in a nice way. Okay. They knew that I can write in a very good way. Still, if I want to write something, I write it with a very good handwriting, with a decent handwriting. Hmm. But generally, when I'm writing notes, I don't need a good handwriting
Yeah.
altogether. So they knew the fact that he can do it. He doesn't want to do it.
Hmm.
And they had accepted the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was about school. Okay. Uh, People at school, teachers at school, especially
Hmm.
in the primary section,
Hmm.
they were not very supportive about the whole fact. Okay. It was like I was a terrible failure according to them because my handwriting was
Hmm.
bad. Mm.
Hmm.
And there were things that I heard that teachers said about me. Okay, there
Hmm.
were complaints that I heard. Because of the whole this episode, my self-esteem and my confidence was very low. Mm.
Hmm.
And I don't know what the world says, but your confidence, self-esteem also affects your marks altogether.
Obviously. Yeah.
Okay, you might be
Yeah.
smart, okay,
Hmm.
but if your confidence is low, you will not score well.
Hmm.
Simple. Mm. That happened to me till fifth standard.
Hmm.
Then in fifth standard, I got a very supportive class teacher, fifth, sixth, seventh, for 3 years.
Hmm.
And ma'am explained me that, it is not about being good at what people want you to be good.
Hmm.
Be good in what you want to pursue in your life. Hmm.
Obviously.
Then I
Yeah.
joined offline robotics class, okay, wherein I learned the basics of electronics and coding. Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Then I started doing online courses, reading a lot. I started writing poetry somewhere around that period. I started doing all the things that I liked.
Hmm.
Hmm. And post ninth standard, okay, Darshil knows the scenario is from my school. It
Hmm.
was like teachers who used to speak shit about me. Okay, they were approaching me and they were like, I was your class teacher in second standard. Yeah, I remember. I also remember what you spoke about me. But okay.
We will
So
be
this
sued
is
if we
the reason
name any
why
teacher right now, though.
so this is the
Yeah.
reason why I learned electronics and coding.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
It was kind of a confidence improvement activity for me.
I think we should talk about how in this scenario we get an example ki how schools are so shit at escalating your skills at helping you finding your the things that you're good at, and pointing, and very good at pointing out what things you're bad at. Like,
Not schools, I would say teachers. In
but
my
teachers,
teachers, teachers after fifth were very supportive. Before fifth,
I
it was a
think,
problem.
but teachers are like, if you remove the building and shit, teachers is essentially the only part that you care about when you're going to school, right? If you talk about ancient times, the guru and the
Yeah,
student is what made the school. So
that's true.
teachers
Yeah,
should be like, teachers should be the ones that are supporting. Basically, the only human interaction is between students and
and
student
teachers.
teacher.
I
Yeah.
I agree.
Hmm.
But again, the scenario is like if you have good teachers, okay,
Hmm.
uh, it will give you amazing results.
Yeah. True.
Literally amazing results.
True.
That
True.
happened
True.
with me in fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth was online, so doesn't matter. And again, 10th standard.
Hmm.
My class teacher is the reason why I am still down to earth,
And
or
class teacher, I agree.
or a human. Because at 10th standard, what happened was I was the popular kid. Okay, in the whole school.
Head
I knew
boy.
my grade. Yeah, I was also the head boy. So you would be shocked to know, but I got 96% votes. Okay,
Hmm.
and in front of me there were five more people,
Hmm.
amongst whom the 4% was divided. So you can get the level of craze that I had. Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I was on cloud nine. You
Hmm.
can also say cloud 10 for that fact. Okay, the in
Hmm.
10 standard. Uh, but and I somehow now when I think about it in a very philosophical way, I somehow forgot the past trauma that I had.
Hmm.
I forgot the thing that I was a ignored student
Hmm.
right here, and I
Hmm.
started behaving like the toxic one in 10th for a very short period of time. And it was my class teacher who explained me that no, this is not done at
Hmm.
all. And that a very important human lesson that
Hmm.
I will keep with me forever. My class teacher and our principal, both of them.
Hmm. It is like what I have read or somewhere I have heard कि just one good teacher, just one person who believes in you is enough to increase your self-esteem by a lot. And once your
Yeah, of course.
self-esteem is good enough, then you can do wonders. You can do whatever you want, believe in yourself, and go achieve whatever you want to achieve. What I want to
At
ask is,
in
let's
school
this,
level, no?
yeah.
No, last point to add up to this. At school level, it is very important who your teacher is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
because in university, teachers least care about you.
obviously.
Okay, even if you are the most interesting student, one of the best students of their class. Okay,
Do you experience this
uh,
right now, diploma mein?
yeah,
Ah, sad.
because it is university, right? It is
Mhm,
WPU, so
mhm,
it is university. So this happens. Keep there are subjects where I don't think I have lost a single mark in the whole semester.
mhm,
Last time there was a subject, okay,
mhm,
I didn't lose a single mark
mhm,
in the whole semester, in all the exams assignments that were going on.
mhm,
So you can get. So what I would expect a teacher to be like is, I would have been the most favorite student, okay, and everything. No, they
mhm.
least care about who you are. Okay, you
Interesting.
go there. If the deadline is 10:30, you go there at 10:31. They'll be like, "Kala."
Mhm, mhm.
This is what happens in university. So if you're not loved in your school,
Mhm.
okay, forget that you will be loved in university. And as a
It's like
student, you need some love and attention. You get it at school.
the only part that I still remember about my school is A, my friends, and B, the teachers. Because
Yeah.
it's not just that the teachers used to teach good, sometimes they didn't. But it's the motherly feeling. It's the motherly feeling that they used to give, na? It's like
See,
whenever I was in need, when I was in need or something, they'll help me around. They'll, क्या बोलते हैं, if maybe I'm having some tantrum or something, like once happened कि जो
yeah.
अपना strict teacher रहता है, she was like ये नहीं करना है. I was the vice head boy, right? So there was one incident where I was just walking and I was just in my thoughts, ठीक है, walking down the corridor, and then there are these two पप्पूस जो लोग लाइन में नहीं चल रहे, and ऐसे हमें बोला गया था कि लाइन में चलो वगैरह ऐसे बताओ सबको, and then I'm like मेरा ध्यान नहीं है, and then she made me kneel down on the floor and walk the entire corridor to my class. And that's when I was like totally pissed, ठीक है, मैं क्लास में जाके बैठा हूँ, and then like uh, पूरा सा गुस्से में, like radiating anger basically. And then but in the times like these, it's the class teachers that came in, क्या हुआ, बता क्या हुआ, even if मेरे friends का ऐसे झगड़ा होगा, हमारा पीटी वगैरह हो गया, since my class teacher in 10th was so supportive, not supportive of this, it was like she didn't inherently ऐसा पैनिक होके क्या कर दिया ऐसा, हमारे क्लास का रेपुटेशन गला दी, नहीं, she was like अरे क्या हुआ ऐसा, अच्छा ऐसा हुआ, ओके ओके ऐसा. So it was all very merry, I would say. And it's like you need that home wala feeling sometimes, like even if the world is shit, I have a place.
Yeah, someone.
हाँ, I have a place, हाँ, someone कि I can go back to. I have good memories there, I have good people there, and I know that if I go there, they'll greet me as always, they'll be happy to see me, and then it will be a good experience just visiting that. And that is necessary sometimes.
And one more spoiler for the whole audience. When I was the head boy, Darshil was the vice head boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he
How?
was one of those who would be very respectful, okay, to teachers. And whenever some teacher gave him the punishment, he would very obediently agree to it. Okay, and go through the punishment. I was the rebellious one. Okay. I would
Actually, after
question
you
their
left,
authority.
I also kind of got like, I was done with the teachers. So I was like, नहीं करना काम तुम्हारा, जाओ बाहर में जाओ.
No, no. I
Obviously, I was
was the.
not.
Let me adjust it polite. Yeah, it's better.
Hmm.
So I was the rebellious one. I still remember. I used to question teachers on what is their authority to punish me. Also, I've done this several times. Even in front of a principal, I did it to a teacher.
Yeah.
Now I feel kind of bad about it. But yeah, I was correct, and I won the argument also. That
Hmm.
is the most important thing again. Yeah.
It was funny, funny. This is a funny incident. ऐसा कुछ तो हुआ था कि there was a question which was under question doubt कि इसका आंसर, सही आंसर क्या होने वाला है, कैसे करके. So when you are close enough to the teachers, you can also experience टीचर्स में जो फाइट्स वगैरह चलते हैं, बिकॉज
Yeah.
हमारी क्लास टीचर थी, शी वाज आल्सो एन इंग्लिश टीचर की डिपार्टमेंट हेड आल्सो वाज देयर, एंड देयर वाज दिस कांस्टेंट क्या बोलते हैं टसल गोइंग ऑन कि नहीं, एक टीचर बोल रही है ये आंसर सही है, दूसरी बोल रही है ये आंसर सही है. तो मैं क्लास में बैठा हूँ, मेरी क्लास टीचर नेचुरली शी डिडंट से एनीथिंग अबाउट इट, बट मैं एक टाइम लिफ्ट से ऊपर आ रहा था विद द इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट के हेड, एंड देन शी वाज लाइक तुझे पता है तेरी टीचर ने गलत बोला था, हमारा हमारा एक्चुअल एक्चुअल ऑप्शन तो यही था, योर मैम इज ओनली कंफ्यूज्ड एंड शिट. आई एम लाइक श्योर.
Yeah, this happens a lot.
It's fun. School was fun though.
It was fun,
I
yeah.
think I think everyone has different experiences obviously, but I have this notion that if you have good relationship with your teachers as well as your pals, it works out like way better than just
Yeah.
being famous around your pals or something like that.
So sometimes when you come to uni, so see, you are at a stage where you have not experienced university. You're
Mhm.
still experiencing the preparation stage and the class
Mhm.
stage,
Yeah.
which is kind of similar to school, a little bit similar to school.
Yeah. No, it
When
is
you
a
come
lot
to a
similar.
university kind of setting,
Mm.
okay, you will realize that no, school was way better,
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
way better. And people are heartless in university, man. School had
Ouch.
humans.
Huh.
University has machines. Okay.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
Simple, but yeah, school was good.
इवन इन यूनिवर्सिटी लाइक अन अकेडमी में मैं अभी जब यहाँ जाता हूँ और कोचिंग क्लासेस में इन जनरल, there is obviously much more importance on the study itself, but the teachers are more accepting. They want, like even
Yeah.
our teachers, they'll be strict, but they'll be like, you have to do it, you have to rally yourself, 2 साल ही तो करना है and something like that. They'll care कि, I mean, obviously it's fueling their admissions also, कि how much students are studying and all. But I think even like we should not be that heartless कि we are just focusing on the literal technical sides of it. I think it is also like a comforting feeling to know that there is someone who cares.
See, at university, no, I'll tell you, there are
Hmm.
people who actually care about you. There are teachers,
Hmm.
okay, who care about you. A
Huh.
few teachers, okay. But the whole mechanism is such that even if they care about you, they
Hmm.
have very limited authority over what they can do for you.
Hmm.
For examples, if I if I'm getting 14 out of 15
Hmm.
in an internal test,
Hmm.
okay, what I would have expected in school is that if the teacher likes me,
Hmm.
if I'm one of the favorite students, the teacher will give me 15 on 15.
Hmm.
Okay, even if I'm getting 14. Hmm.
Hmm.
At university, you cannot do it.
Hmm.
Right? Everything is, kind of, uh, it is a system. You cannot break the system for one student.
Hmm.
And yeah, teachers cannot do it for you. But yeah, there are caring teachers again.
Hmm. Hmm. What was your experience after you left school? Did you feel some remorse or like? like what I personally felt was like मैं तो school में like after you went there was like not much क्या बोलते हैं not another like कोई there was no other spotlight to steal away my stage, so the stage was mine, so I was like अपना स्कूल है अब पूरा. And then I used to, I don't know why, but I used to see myself as a star kid. कि I'm good at sports, I'm good at studies, I'm good at extracurriculars, I'm good at everything. Then I came out of the school and then I was miserable. I was like, shit, there's nothing here, nobody knows me. And it was like starting all over. And that was one of the best life experiences because I was very sad for like maybe 2, 3 months. But after that, it was like, I don't care about the attention anymore. I'm just doing this for myself. I'm building myself for myself and not anyone else. What was your experience though?
See, as the star kid, favorite kid, you have a few perks that you get
Hmm.
at
Yeah.
school. Okay,
Huh.
you misuse them sometimes. Okay, you use them for good also at times.
Obviously.
Okay,
Yes.
mostly misuse them. Okay, so my experience was, see, I always knew that this transition will happen,
Hmm.
wherein I will go to a place or a university where I will not be the star kid.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
there will
Okay.
be hundreds like me sitting there.
Hmm.
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 I knew this transition is going to happen and I was ready for this transition.
Hmm.
What I was not ready for is that I will also lose the perks
Hmm.
that a star kid gets.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
There are several perks. Here in school, see, there are times when I've missed my lectures and just I was just roaming around. Okay. And then I go to teachers and I tell them, no, ma'am, I was doing this work, I was doing that council work. Okay, I was doing this. I got the
Yeah.
attendance for those
Same.
lectures, or there was no punishment that I got. Here,
Hmm.
that doesn't happen in university. It is like I lost all the perks of
Hmm.
being the star kid. That was
Powerless.
difficult. Yeah, I kind of felt that, yeah, I'm powerless. Hmm. It takes some time, but again, if you build yourself that way, then teachers do consider it here also.
Hmm.
Now they do in second year.
Interesting. Interesting. Let's move on from this topic. बहुत ज्यादा एक्सप्लोर कर लिया इसको. Let's move on to one of the favorite things that I like about Amay, and it is very like whatever he does is very charming and very beautiful. Is Hindi and art. When did you get exposed to like first art forms? Like you were like you genuinely understood what the like creator of the art was trying to say, and then you went on the streak ki, uh, I'm trying to like हम होता है ना कि we are trying to understand all the art forms that are going on, like what you like, and then after a point you're like now I want to create my own art ऐसे करके. So you said you already do poetry and I've read his poetry,
Yeah.
it's fabulous, but in general, like how was the art journey like?
Simple. So see, now I knew I was good at Hindi.
Hmm.
Okay, there is a reason because I had spent initial days of my education, like the KG and for till first standard, in
Hmm.
Air Force school.
Hmm.
So it was
Oh.
basically Hindi, a
Hmm.
lot
Hmm.
of Hindi that I used to hear from teachers, my fellow peer students, classmates.
Hmm.
Okay, so that was my basis foundation of Hindi, and it was good. So now it all started in a very rookie manner, okay, wherein I wrote my first poem. You won't believe this, but in a Hindi paper in fifth
Okay.
standard,
Okay.
okay, in a essay,
Nice.
okay, to end the essay. So what happened? I finished my paper around 1 hour before the time. And in fifth standard, that was the time when you were not allowed to carry watches, or essentially you never carried watches as a fifth
Hmm. Hmm.
grader.
Hmm.
Okay. And teacher used to tell you about the time. And I had a
Hmm.
lot of time left. And in school, you are not allowed to leave the room once you have finished the paper. You have to sit in the room till the whole paper ends.
Yeah.
So I had 1 hour. And then I remembered my teacher told me, Hindi teacher that time, ki, you should include quotes and poetries in your essay.
Hmm. Hmm.
I thought, ki, now I don't remember anything. I can try to write something.
Hmm.
Then on backside of the whole answer sheet, I wrote rough work in a Hindi paper. Okay, and I wrote the 4 lines. Okay, basically it was not even well structured. So now I
Hmm.
know what the structures are,
Hmm.
what are the rhyming schemes and
Hmm.
patterns. It was some weird rhyming scheme that I had made, but yeah, it was good. For a fifth grader, it was decent.
Hmm.
It all started from there. I wrote my first poem there, and teacher appreciated it.
Hmm.
Then I wrote another poem.
Hmm.
Okay, again, very rookie.
Hmm.
This is the time when I have read zero literature, zero
Hmm.
Hindi literature.
Hmm.
Okay. Hmm. So I kept writing poems like this from fifth to eighth,
Hmm.
very rookie poems. I still have the diary. Okay.
Hmm.
And I've kept it in a way that I don't give it to anyone.
Hmm.
I'm embarrassed of those poems, whatever I wrote till eighth. Hmm. Now I give this credit to CBSE.
Huh.
CBSE made me a better artist. Okay.
Okay.
If you refer to class 8, 9, 10th NCRT Hindi books,
Huh.
okay, beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The the way they
Okay.
introduce you to several poets and story writers. Okay, ignore the stories that are included. They might be kind of childish sometimes or not very interesting. Okay, but the poets and writers that they introduce you to. Hmm.
Hmm.
Uh, my most favorite writers, okay, all of them, 90% of them are from my NCRT books.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
First time I read them in my NCRT books. Okay.
Nice.
So from there, I started reading the other literature, whatever they have written. Then there was one Hindi teacher, okay, who used to appreciate me reading different kind of extra literature and everything.
Hmm.
That made me better artist day by day. But
Hmm.
again, till 10th, I was a very bad poet. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm still decent, not a very good one. Okay.
Hmm.
But 11th, 12th, so diploma first year, second year is when I think I started writing decent poetry because I read a lot of poetry. Okay. So it was like till 2 years ago, I used to read only Hindi literature and only poetry
Hmm.
in Hindi literature also. My reading was very much limited.
Hmm.
Mm. I hardly used to read about any other thing in books.
Hmm.
I used to read
Hmm.
articles and papers, etc. But books were literature and poetry.
Hmm.
So because of that, I think foundation built up, and now I think I'm a decent poet.
Nice. The way I had gotten introduced to Hindi literature was obviously through NCRT, but until then I was not that into Hindi literature itself. But then I got into this pre के मुझे हिंदी में like first my
Mm.
first love for literature is English, not Hindi.
Yeah,
But I know कि Hindi literature is also very enticing to read. And so what I
it
did
is more
was,
beautiful.
it is
I
more
can I can
beautiful.
prove it.
It
Yeah.
is more beautiful. No, I agree. Like what I think is Hindi is more beautiful, Hindi literature is more beautiful, and English literature, if done right, teaches you more in depth in a shorter time span. Like that's what I have experienced in the writings that I have done and what I have read. Like Walt Whitman पढ़ा या फिर Robert Frost पढ़ा. So that's what I've seen. कि like they are more depth. There's more depth in the English literature, and Hindi literature always gives you the home wala feeling. It's all very beautiful and it's very connecting. The way I had gotten used to Hindi literature was literally through reading two romance books because I had no other way of like और books थे ही नहीं मेरे पास and I was too bored to read online, so I just ordered two romance books and I was like अभी इनमें से जो भी vocabulary build होगी वही एग्जाम में यूज करेंगे, and that actually increased my Hindi score.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Interesting. Okay. कुछ सुना सकते हो तुम अभी हिंदी? I sound
Okay.
I sound like one of those show वाले people हैं इंटरव्यू लेते हैं, आप कुछ सुना सकते हो हिंदी में like but yeah,
Okay,
come
हाँ,
on,
तो
something.
सुनाने में भी याद है, there are two stages. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, 10वीं तक जब तक मैं लिखता था, as I told
Hmm.
you, I was a very bad poet.
Hmm.
The rus or the mood that I used to explore was Veer Rus, okay.
Hmm.
And it was like I used to write about country, soil, motherland. I
Hmm.
still write about all of them when
Hmm.
needed.
Hmm.
After that, I started writing about, Shrungar, Pyar, Viraha, love, all
Hmm.
of these more human feelings that I
Hmm.
call. So I'll recite something from that only then.
Okay, let's go.
Hmm. There is this share that is there in front of me. I got this thing typed from
A typewriter.
exhibition.
Okay.
Yeah, from on a typewriter from exhibition.
Damn.
So
Damn.
yeah, it is like it is my own. Okay. So it is like उसके दिल ने धड़कन छीन ली, उसकी आंखों ने अंधा कर दिया.
Mm-hmm.
उसके दिल ने धड़कन छीन ली, उसकी आंखों ने अंधा कर दिया. मुहीब मौत के करीब था मैं, उसकी जिंदगी ने जिंदा कर दिया. Okay. So yeah, this is one of them.
Okay.
And yeah, there poems भी हैं but सारी मतलब पूरी की पूरी याद नहीं है. There are one or two poems जो याद है मुझे पूरी की पूरी जो मैं रिसाइट कर सकता हूँ.
I'm not that
right?
into Hindi literature and shairis to reciprocate it with good words. So don't mind me. But it's good,
Yeah.
यार. मस्त लिखता है. I'll link his Insta ID and the क्या बोलते हैं description में. So you can check out. He has posted his literature there. Okay. So let's explore this tangent. ठीक है. About life now. Bigger topics.
Mm.
I remember once we were talking about life, and then you were like, life is made up of, I think, three things only: Kam, Maya, Moksha, or something like that.
Mm.
Are you still
Mm.
into that? Firstly, what was all that fuss about? I kind of get it, but I think the audience should know in depth कि हमने क्या discussion किया था उस time, like what the entire thing is about Kam, Maya, and Moksha. And do you still hold on to those beliefs, or what's the thinking ideologies right now?
See, the conclusion. Okay, so out of several pieces of literature that I have read, I came to this conclusion. These are the three tangents that I agree to. Okay,
Okay.
there are several others that people have written about, but these are the three that I feel are the fundamental of
Hmm.
anything.
Hmm.
Firstly is uh, Maya. Okay, when I speak about Maya, Maya is anything that distracts you.
Hmm.
Okay, distracts you from being productive or from being the best self of yourself.
Okay.
That is Maya. Okay, so the people generally misinterpret Maya, or it is their own interpretation. Okay,
Hmm.
ki love is Maya, or
Hmm.
uh, you know
Illusion.
th- delusion. Love is
Hmm.
Maya, or there are things, basic human emotions that people called as Maya.
Hmm.
Okay, no, for me, if I want to focus on love,
Hmm.
then whatever distracts me from love is the Maya in that case.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Got it. Huh.
Okay. Again, then comes karma. Karma is what you want to do, what you want to
कर्म
pursue.
था मैं
Okay.
काम बोल रहा हूँ यार मैं गलत बोल रहा हूँ कितना
Calm is different. Yeah, calm is
काम इज
different.
वेरी
Okay.
डिफरेंट
Calm is a totally different concept. Let's focus on karma. Karma is whatever you want to do. Okay. But whenever you are doing karma, you know that there is a chance of you getting distracted.
हम्म हम्म
Okay, if I'm working, okay, I know that there is a chance that I might get distracted. Then comes moksha.
हम्म
Moksha for me is death. Okay.
हम्म
There is no perfect condition. Hmm.
हम्म
Moksha is the ideal person, how an ideal person will live. No, there is
हम्म
no one who is ideal.
हम्म
Literally no one.
हम्म
Okay. So yeah, that is moksha for me. That is death, or freedom.
हम्म
Uh, Thinking no one is judging me, or I don't have any deadlines. It is okay to get distracted also.
हम्म
Because that is moksha for me. It is free. I don't have a definition for it. It is just
हम्म
free.
okay.
That is the vision. It is a
I
white
think these are very
canvas.
closely related to Hindi spiritual Hindi philosophy, not Hindi spiritual का word, Hindi philosophy, right? Hindu philosophy.
Yeah, kind of.
Interesting. Do you still hold on to these principles though?
Uh, I try to sometimes. Okay. But now I think in a way that why even put these labels?
Hmm.
Let it go as it is going.
Hmm.
Okay. It is okay to get distracted. It is necessary to get distracted. If you're not getting distracted, you're abnormal. You're not
Yeah.
normal. Okay.
Point.
It is okay to get distracted. Okay. It is also important to work.
I don't know. Instead of that, I'd rephrase it like मेरे अभी दोस्त है ना जेई में, so I have this intense environment around me, right? So there are people who will go 2, 3 hours, 4 hours without getting distracted at all, right? So I wouldn't call it like it's not about like it's okay to get distracted and you cannot get distracted. Sorry, you can get. It's impossible to stop the distractions. That's what you said, right? For me, I
Yeah.
think it would be better to rephrase it as like you. It is okay to be in your optimal state. Like for the people who will be studying in like 3 to 4 hours, they'll be studying non-stop and they won't feel anything about it. It's the optimal state for them. But people like me, I'll be distracted in an hour, 2 hours. So it is okay to get distracted if you are like if that's the mental makeup that you have. If you are
Nah,
actually
see, when I speak about distraction or when I speak about focus altogether,
hmm,
you're speaking about a focus of 3 to 4 hours. Okay.
hmm.
I'm speaking about the longer focus.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You decided in 10th standard that you want to do JE.
Hmm,
Okay. And now you're focusing on it. Okay. In day-to-day life, okay, you might do other things also. Okay.
hmm,
But my thing is ki 10th के एंड में मैंने डिसाइड किया जेई करूंगा, 12th तक मेरा वही था एम.
Hmm.
ओके. Okay, I didn't distract myself totally from it.
Hmm.
I didn't disconnect myself from the aim, from the
Hmm.
goal. That is distraction. I talk about the longer view of it. Yeah, in real life it is about self control. Okay, कि मैं
Hmm.
2 घंटे अगर बैठ के पढ़ाई कर रहा हूँ एंड उसके बाद अगर 15 मिनट का ब्रेक ले रहा हूँ, इट इज फाइन. लेकिन अगर मैं 15 मिनट पढ़ाई कर रहा हूँ और 2 घंटे का ब्रेक ले रहा हूँ, देन या आई हैव सम सेल्फ कंट्रोल इश्यूज.
Hmm. Are you a believer?
Yeah, of course.
Hmm.
I
Interesting.
believe in several things that are there around religion. Okay, recently I was talking to a very senior RSS pracharak. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
very senior one,
Hmm.
and very interesting insight he told me. He told me about कि लोग कहते हैं, Hinduism and Islam, it is all dharma.
Hmm.
No, it is not a dharma.
Hmm.
He said it is a upasana paddhati. Okay, it is
What
the
is
way
that?
you conduct your rituals.
Okay.
Is Hinduism, is Islam. Okay,
Ah.
it
Yeah.
is for him, according to him, dharma is karma, equivalent. Both the words are same.
Hmm.
Okay, your good deeds and bad deeds altogether are your dharma.
Hmm.
Okay, so when if you ask me about upasana paddhati, then yeah, I have issues with none of them. Okay,
Hmm.
literally none of them.
Hmm.
Hmm. I was born in a family which follows a certain upasana paddhati, so I'll follow that one. Okay, convenient for me.
Hmm.
But yeah, if I'm told to follow something else, I can do it.
Hmm.
I have literally no issues. Okay.
Okay.
Now speaking about religion, believer, I believe in concept of ekunkar. There is only one God. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Guru Nanak gave this concept of ekunkar.
Hmm.
There is one God
Hmm.
altogether.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, there are ways to reach that God. People try to find it in temples. People try to find it in people. Okay. People say that my God is superior. Well, there is one God. How can your God be superior altogether? Is the fact. So yeah,
सबका
I am a
कमाल एक
believer.
ही है. Hmm.
I am a believer, but how do I communicate? Uh, Depends. Depends on situation. If I feel like going to a temple, I go. If I
Hmm.
feel like sitting at home and connecting, I connect. Simple.
Interesting. What my notion of gods and religion overall has been, whatever I've read, whatever I've listened to on like through podcasts or something, is that basically scientific approach to this thing is even if there's God, we won't be able to know if he exists because he's
Yeah.
such an unparalleled entity ki you'll need your senses cannot comprehend if he exists or not. So there's no point in discussing if he is there or not. You just cannot know. So that's what makes me an agnostic because I do not believe God doesn't exist. I don't believe God exists. I'm just beach ka person. I'm like okay from both the sides. But what's interesting to me, like strikes as most interesting to me is the way the institutions are built, religious institutions specifically. Because if you think about it, you have got like pre Stone Age times वगैरह में सोचना कि you have got this organism or creature who has weaved this story कि there are gods who are controlling the weather, who are controlling when they are angry, there's thunderstorm coming or something like that. They were so creative when they viewed the entire story, and now we have hundreds, if not thousands, of mythology stories, right? And
Yeah.
for me, religion or dharma or whatever, any religion is just a way of salvation, so that when the world is such a treacherous territory and anything can happen basically right here, and there's so much क्या बोलते हैं कलयुग का stuff going on, there's so much crime everywhere in places like these. When the darkness from the outside world can cloud your own perception, God and religion is something that you can depend on. And that is why the
Oh,
people, hmm, and that is why the people who are believers live happier. It is an actual proven study that the people who
yeah.
are into religion or who believe in God, they are actually happier because they can believe in something certain. Because rest of the life is very uncertain. People are not able to stay together right now. You have career ka insecurities. You can just get removed. People in IT sector are getting laid at random intervals. So at least you have someone you can look up to. And I think God and religion helps you get one of the most important human feelings, and that is hope and faith. So I think that is the entire, religion ka importance in our
I'll
life.
tell you
That's why.
why I believe in God. Okay.
Hmm,
Uh, Basically, I believe in science a lot. Okay.
hmm,
But again, I accept that there are limitations to science as well. Not everything can be derived.
hmm,
Okay. There are things that cannot be derived. But why I believe in God or one energy altogether
hmm,
is because I question myself to an extent that from where did Big Bang happen?
hmm,
There has to be an energy store from where Big Bang happened. Essentially, today world survives on energy that comes from sun,
hmm,
okay, or from natural resources. Hmm.
hmm.
Other energy is barely anything
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the total energy that we consume. It comes from sun. Sun got its energy from the gases that are there within.
Hmm,
Okay, the whole composition happened because of Big Bang
hmm,
back then. How did Big Bang happen? There has to be another one storage to it, right? For
hmm.
me, that is God. The
Okay.
energy behind everything that is going on around us,
Hmm,
okay, is God.
hmm.
Okay, that is one God. Now, I certainly cannot worship protons, neutrons, and electrons.
Yeah,
So
obviously.
I have given them faces.
Hmm.
Simple. And I
Yeah.
worship those faces or those forms.
I think that is what Acharya Prashant or Sadhguru had said basically. Ki God is like a single entity, and the way that you're worshipping to Him is through the murtis and whatever like idols that you have. The idol is just a क्या बोलते हैं, channel through which I'm
Yeah.
passing my emotions, faith, and thoughts to my God, my worship to
See,
my God.
I'll give one book recommendation, very good book recommendation. It changed a lot the way I think.
Hmm.
There is this book called as A God Particle. It is
Okay.
written by author called as Lederman,
Hmm.
very famous author.
Hmm.
Okay. God Particle talks about this. Okay. Then, if you remember, we had a very interesting conversation about ghosts. Do I
Hmm.
believe in ghosts and the whole negative energy?
मुझे याद नहीं यार.
Okay,
फिर से
I'll
फिर से.
explain. I gave a very scientific explanation, and I read this in one of Stephen Hawking's essays that he wrote at his
Okay.
university. I
Hmm.
don't remember the title of the essay. Okay, if I get the PDF, I'll share it with Darshil. You can add the this thing link to it. But he
Yes.
explained it in a way where every one of us is basically energy.
Hmm.
Okay, I am
Yes.
energy which is stored
Essential.
inside me. Okay,
Yes.
I die. Okay, the energy gets liberated. Okay,
Hmm.
and he spoke in a way he his assumption of it was that when I'm dying, if I'm not happy,
Hmm.
okay, then my energy will be open,
Hmm.
will be reactive to things around me.
Hmm.
That is ghost, or that is the negative energy that we feel in a place. If a person has died somewhere and he
Hmm.
was not happy, you will
Hmm.
feel it,
Okay.
that yeah, there is a negative aura in the place. Okay,
Hmm.
according to him, it was because of that. A person, when a person dies, the energy that he liberates, okay, that is reactive and that is ghost. If he is not happy, happy people never have ghosts,
Hmm.
at least in stories.
हाँ.
Yeah, even in the movie. So that this was a very funny essay that he wrote. It was not a very serious scientific essay, but yeah, even in a funny way, he was very scientific, and I believe in what he said. That yeah, everyone has energy, okay, and if I'm not happy, then my energy will react when I die. If I'm happy enough, then my energy was just satisfied. You can look at it this way, that it was balanced.
Hmm.
Okay. I had the neon configuration. I was not reactive at all. Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. I think the last topic that we should explore in this tangent itself is, what do you think is the purpose of life? Oh my God, this is such a cliche question to ask, but I'm
No
really curious
question.
now. Like,
I
now that we are on the spiritual, philosophical tangent itself. So, what do you think is the purpose of life?
We are all born out of coincidences. Okay,
Okay.
coincidences happen. Fish evolved. Okay, fishes evolved into several organisms. Organisms evolved into apes. Apes evolved into humans.
Yes.
Coincidence? Okay, we would not have taken crores and lakhs of years to evolve. Okay, we would have evolved quickly. Okay, we evolved after 1 crore years. Okay, an ape become a human. Okay, you have to consider there were lakhs of apes who died as apes,
Hmm.
who didn't make it to be a human.
Hmm.
Okay. So we are all born out of coincidences. Okay.
Hmm.
If we are all coincidences, we are all mistakes that the
Hmm.
nature has made,
Hmm.
we have no purpose.
Did you call everyone a mistake here?
Yeah,
Is that
I just called
is
everyone a
that a
mistake, but
subtle
that
way
is
of
my view.
pointing ki
That is,
everyone is a
yeah.
mistake?
That is how I look at life. Okay, but now that we are born out of coincidences and now that we are living, what should be the purpose? A smaller purpose is that uh, do it for a peaceful, happy world. Okay, do it for people around you.
Hmm.
Not only your people, everyone all together. Make
Hmm.
lives better, make
Hmm.
lives happier. Okay, so that we have less ghosts at the end when
Hmm.
people die. Make sure that when you die, people around you are happy about what you did with your
Hmm.
life. It should not be like यार मरने के बाद भी फिर ताने और गालियाँ ही सुननी पड़ रही
Hmm.
है.
Makes
That is
sense.
sole purpose now.
Interesting. What I like to think about this entire scenario is like this is a story that we're telling ourselves. Like this is the story that you told us. Is कि, this is the history that humans have, and future में also we should be hoping कि we should be working towards making the society peaceful for everyone, so that there are no ill omens left behind when you die. Basically, right? What I like to think about it is I read this series. I had quoted this in the last podcast also, the Foundation series basically. And after that, I was like, it was basically a dystopian world sci-fi series, ठीक है. And what made me think कि मुझे humans इस level पे चाहिए. It is like 12,000 years into the human civilization ऐसा कुछ तो. And I'm like, I want humans to be here. And it is my genuine love for humans, not for individuals, as a whole community, as a system, as a machinery. कि this is such a fascinating creature because he can do art, he's very serious, he can work, he can imagine things. So the sole purpose of my life should be contributing in the civilization in such a way कि human civilization itself is preserved, because human stories are sometimes very क्या बोलते हैं innovative and very helpful, or sometimes you get Hitlers and you get everyone killed. so so essentially I think everyone is just telling themselves the story कि मरने के लिए मुझे मेरे लाइफ का पर्पस ये है, एंड दैट्स द ओनली initial foundation years में the only job that we are trying to like
Yeah.
complete from 14th to let's say 30 years is having a purpose, getting that purpose ready so that we can dedicate our lives to that purpose.
Okay, now that you've said that, humans are a very interesting creature, they can do a lot of things.
Hmm.
I'll give a very interesting series recommendation. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, so I always considered people who are, fan of a single series. So there are people who are terrible fans of Friends. They're mad for
Yeah.
Friends. They're mad for
Friends
Suits.
is good, bro.
Yeah, they are mad for Squid Games. I've seen people. I
Hmm.
always considered them to be foolish. Right?
Yeah.
Like, how can you be mad for a series? But
Yeah.
then I saw one series about which I am mad. Now,
Which?
so it is a seven-season series. Okay, it was a TV show in USA,
Hmm.
and from 2008 to 2015. Now it is on Amazon Prime. It is called The Mentalist. Okay,
Huh.
beautiful series. It
Okay.
is about a person who has great human skills. Okay,
Hmm.
he knows how to deal with humans. Okay, he works for police. He has a backstory. It is about also about serial killer. It is about love.
Hmm.
It is about police work. It is about saving human lives. It is about human emotions. Because it is seven seasons altogether. It is like one season, 25 episodes,
Hmm.
and it is seven seasons.
Hmm.
Okay, so it is somewhere around 200
Long,
episodes
long
altogether, long.
series.
But it is so interesting, I finished it in a month. Okay,
Yeah.
it is
Dedication.
damn interesting. Yeah. And the main character, Patrick Jane is the name, the mentalist, as they call him. Oh my God, that character is crazy. Eh, Anyone can fall in love with the character. Literally anyone. Okay. Two characters in the series, Patrick Jane and his work partner, Lisbon. Okay,
Hmm.
she is a police person and he is a consultant
Hmm.
to the organization that they are working on. There is a backstory of how he became a consultant, which is the driving force for around 4 to 5 seasons, 5 seasons altogether.
Hmm.
Okay. After fifth season, you will think कि हाँ अब तो खत्म हो गया series, nothing
Hmm.
is left. But a new tangent starts altogether
Hmm.
for the last 2 seasons. It is
Nice.
very interesting. Mm. So yeah,
Nice.
You
Guys,
can
go
watch
watch
it.
The Mentalist.
Yeah.
Not sponsored. Okay, I think we are reaching the like ender sections of the podcast. Ender sections नहीं हो क्या बोल दिया मैं ending वाले sections. Let's end it with books because you quoted books
Yeah.
and I think we should know what Amey Asghar reads.
So right now
What are
I'm
you reading right
reading a
now?
book by Sagarika Ghosh.
Hmm.
It is about Bihari Vajpayee. The name is Atal Bihari Vajpayee by Sagarika Ghosh. So I think I didn't mention, but Atal Bihari Vajpayee has been a very important figure in my life
Yeah.
altogether. Okay, as a person, as a poet, firstly. Okay, people talk about the politician side of him. I love the poet side of him more
Hmm.
than I love the politician side. Okay, there are better politicians, I think. Okay,
Yeah.
he is one of the best, of course, in my list of five top prime ministers. Okay, he's in top three, not on the first position. Now, let's not discuss politics, but again,
Some other
so
podcast.
I know the positive side of Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Okay.
Sagarika Ghosh talks about the negative side as well.
Hmm.
She talks about positive as well as negative side. So I'm
Hmm.
reading that book because you know you should read both the arguments
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
story.
Hmm.
Then recently I read a book called as Hindus in Hindu Rashtra by
Hmm.
Anand Ranganathan.
Hmm.
Okay,
Ah.
not a book that I would read on a normal day.
Hmm.
Okay, because I am considered to be a leftist liberal. Okay,
Hmm.
but I don't have any ideology.
Hmm.
But people consider me a leftist,
Hmm.
and it is a very rightist book altogether.
Hmm.
But I love the book.
Hmm.
Well written, well articulated. If you
Hmm.
ask me about more recommendations, just a minute, let me see. Yeah, there is this book called as The Republic. It is a
Plato.
very old book.
Plato.
Yeah, Plato Wali, The Republic. Yeah, the
Okay, okay.
Plato one. Yeah, The Republic. Then there
How is
is
that
this book
book?
called as तुम्हारी औकात क्या है पीयूष मिश्रा. It is written by Piyush Mishra himself.
हाँ
Okay.
ये भी कहीं तो आई थी मुझे आई थिंक दिस इज रिटन बाय लिंक्डइन का some big creator I think someone like
No.
that.
It is written by Piyush Mishra. Piyush Mishra is
हाँ
a
so
singer,
Piyush Mishra.
songwriter, actor, a
Hmm.
damn good human.
Okay, okay.
Then before that, I read, yeah,
Words.
Tarkash. There is this book called as Tarkash. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. If you want more recommendations, there is this book called as A Constructive Parliamentarian, which is written by Atal Bihari Vajpayee,
Why
which
are
is
you
a
so
very
much
good
into
book.
politics, man? Everything you have told me right now is politics.
No. Tarkash is a poetry book. Okay.
Okay.
Again, shifting to Hindi literature, if you want to to read Hindi literature, you can refer to Godan.
Hmm.
Godan is a story
Premchand
book,
wali.
a novel. Yeah,
Hmm.
Premchand Wali.
I used to read
Then you
that in
can,
our school library, lectures bunk करके.
yeah, Godan is a good book. Again, after Godan, I would suggest you to read तुम्हारी औकात क्या है पीयूष मिश्रा. Then there is this
Hmm.
in Hindi. I would suggest you to read Bharat Bharati by Maithili Sharan Gupta. Hmm.
Hmm.
Bharat Bharati is again a 140 para poem as I interpret it.
Hmm.
Okay. There are several books that can be read, but depends on what do you want to read.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
If you want suggestions about political books, I can give
What
about
is the
that.
general
So, is
reading
there a
pattern that
certain
you follow?
tangent that you want suggestions about?
What is the general reading pattern that you follow? Like, do you schedule time in your day to just read, or are you just reading when you're
Hmm.
bored? Like, what do you do about it?
I read in metro while going to college.
Hmm.
Then I read when I'm bored. Okay. I don't read at night before sleeping. People have that habit that, before going to bed they
Guilty
read.
as charged.
Yeah.
Charged.
I'm not that kind of a reader because if I read before sleeping, I don't get dreams. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah, yeah. Dream
I
sleep is
need
deep
dreams
sleep.
for a good sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
For a good sleep, I have to have dreams. Otherwise, I don't consider it a good sleep
Hmm.
altogether.
No,
So
no,
yeah, I
that is
read in
actually
the daytime.
scientifically right. The dreams only come when you're into very deep sleep.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, how long have we been recording? 1 hour 12 minutes. I think we should call it ends right now. I actually
Yeah.
have a lot to discuss about politics. हमने बात नहीं की, एमियंस के बारे में बात नहीं की. We didn't talk about business stuff. We didn't talk about India as a whole. We could explore a lot of tangents. and so we'll record again.
Yeah, we will do one episode next year after the interesting thing that comes out. We will record one
Ah,
more
bro, too late,
episode.
bro. We want you again. I mean, the audience wants you again, bro. We can do
Yeah,
multiple
we will
podcasts.
record something about politics then. We will record a total politics thing somewhere in between.
Interesting. ठीक है, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was an interesting podcast to record. Thanks a lot. अमय को अमय का इंस्टा वगैरह चेकआउट कर लेना. इट इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, क्या बोलते हैं, पूरा पेज. चेकआउट इज लिंक्डइन. आई विल
Check my
अटैच इट इन.
LinkedIn.
या
It is
लिंक्डइन
more
ऑल्सो.
interesting.
हाँ, बट इंस्टा ऑल्सो आई टैग एवरीथिंग दैट आई हैव एक्सेप्ट द नंबर्स. हाँ. सो
Yeah.
यस, थैंक यू अमय
Thank
असगर जी,
you.
हमारे हमारे शो पे आने के लिए. बहुत अच्छा लगा हमें आपकी
Thank you so much.
आपसे
Thank you. Same here.
वार्तालाप करके. मेरी हिंदी ठीक है, ठीक है, मेरी हिंदी ठीक ठाक है.
Yeah.
मैंने इतना पढ़ लिया है कि मेरा एक्सेंट हिंदी जैसा लगता है एटलीस्ट. तो ठीक है.
Yes.
Anyways, whoever has watched till this point, thanks a lot. I hope you learned something through whatever Amay had to say. Amay is such a person कि मैं जब भी उससे मिलूंगा, the conversation just start and we'll have most random, most deepest conversations at the random time. So it was a very deep-seated urge since 2 years कि जो conversations record हो रहा है वो actually कभी जाए YouTube पे या फिर कहीं तो publish हो. So this was the first time that it happened, and I'm so glad he joined in.
Yeah. Not the
And
last time. Yeah, we'll do it.
obviously not the last time. I will join us again. Till then, thank you so much for watching this podcast, and I hope you'll stay tuned for more content. And see you next time. Bye bye.